Hey everyone, I'm Marco and in this video I'm going to show you the Pocophone. The Pocophone had created a little hype over the past few weeks. It has all the ingredients of a 2018 flagship device and that for just 300 euros. How's Xiaomi doing it? Let's take a closer look at what you really get for your money. The combination of a Snapdragon 845, 6GB of RAM and a 4000 mAh battery sounds really good. Usually you get these components in smartphones that cost at least 800 euros. With its 6.2-inch LCD, the Pocophone is a really big device and you notice that in your hand. It's not too comfortable to hold. Another point why the Pocophone doesn't feel premium in your hand might be because of the plastic back. On premium devices you usually get metal or glass. Don't get me wrong, it's well built, but it just doesn't feel like a high-end premium device. The front looks like every 2018 Android device. It has minimal bezels on the side, it has a chin and a notch. The corners of the display look a little bit more rounded than on most other smartphones. Despite that, the Pocophone looks really nice and modern. The LCD itself gets bright and the colors pop. It might not hold up to the best displays in the industry, but it's still a good display. With its 1080p resolution, everything still looks really sharp. Only the viewing angles aren't that great. As soon as you twist the phone, the screen darkens. The battery comes packed with 4000 mAh and that is pretty big and lasts all day. If you need to top it off, you can do that with the quick charge adapter that is included in the box. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charging available. If you need to expand the 64GB internal storage, you can do that via SD card, or you could use 2 SIM cards. The Pocophone comes with stereo speakers that sound alright, but the main speaker is downfiring and can easily be covered. It becomes a rarity nowadays, but the Pocophone comes with a 3.5mm headphone jack, so you can use your standard headphones. On the back there is the fingerprint sensor, and usually I like that position, but the cameras are way too close to the sensor, so I usually touch the camera instead of the sensor. That's not ideal, but as soon as your finger hits the sensor, it works fast and reliable. That brings us to the cameras. And I really like the red accent around the cameras on the back. Here we get a 12 and a 5 megapixel camera. The 5 megapixel camera is just used for that bokeh effect. The images come out much better than I expected. The dynamic range is good, the colors are nice and you do get a lot of details in your pictures. It might not be quite on par with the best cameras on the market, but still it's really great what you get for just 300 euros. Even in low light, the camera still performs pretty good. Unfortunately, there is no stabilization when recording in 4K, so you better switch to 1080p. That looks much better. You can record in 4K with 30 frames per second and up to 240 frames per second in 1080p. The front camera has impressive 20 megapixels, so you should get a lot of details in your images, but you really need to turn off beauty mode because it's killing all the details. Unfortunately, the camera isn't as good as the rear one, so the dynamic range is pretty poor and most images are a little overexposed. Videos can be recorded in 1080p, but the stabilization isn't any good. And that's the way a video looks from the selfie camera. And concerning the sound, just hear for yourself. Overall, the cameras really surprised me. They are much better than I thought. I expected Xiaomi to really cut the costs when it comes to the cameras, but it doesn't seem that way. These cameras might not hold up to the absolutely high-end devices, but still, for a 300 euro smartphone, these are one of the best cameras in that price range. The Pocophone is running Android 8.1 with MIUI, which is a very playful and colorful Android skin, which is definitely not my favorite, but that comes down to your personal preference. The Pocophone held up really well till now, but there are a few things left we need to talk about. There's no NFC, so no fast pairing or mobile payments, and there's no IP rating, so you better keep the Pocophone away from water. I've tried to answer the question what you really get for your money when you buy the Pocophone. And that's first of all great hardware. You get a Snapdragon 845, 6 GB of RAM, a 4000 mAh battery, and a screen with minimal bezels. All that combined feels really premium. But there are a few things missing. I found 5 points where Xiaomi really cut the costs, but overall that might not be a deal breaker for you. The camera is much better than I expected, and for 300 euros, that's probably one of the best smartphones you can get right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit like, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.